So we are back with our interview with R&B and house and dance music icon Freedom Williams. We're in the middle of our Freedom Williams playlist, and we'll be coming back in just a second with more interview with Freedom Williams. So just sit back and enjoy the music.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's all right, my friend. Look, you are a busy man of many affairs.
Yeah, I got a little thing going right there. Right though. Yeah, I was excited about that. You know, I'm not excited about the trademark in terms of just defeating someone in the court system and all of that, because it is what it is. I've always been the trademark. I've always been the brand.
Right.
But it feels good. The person who's been bullied, you know, he's been bullying me for years, and I didn't say nothing. You know, I just let it ride. And that feels good because, you know, we could have talked about it like adults, but he always wanted to extort money from me. Mm. It's not a really, you know, Mr. Govelis is not a really nice person.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just an amazing feeling because the trademark, besides ending the bullying, it now gives you full creative power and empowerment to do whatever you want with the brand.
Right, exactly.
And we touched on this a little bit before the break, but now having gone through this journey, what advice would you give to artists that are young in the game, or even when you reach a certain level of success and you want to move labels or representation, of the importance of contracts, knowing what those contracts say, and owning the rights to your material?
Well, it's important to understand it if you can, because it's what you create. It's your intellectual property. You know, you write a comic, you write a script, you write a screenplay, you write a commercial, you write an ad. That's coming from your experiences, right? Mm-hmm. When I write things that make you go home, or that make you sweat, or rock and roll. You know, when I said from B.B. King to Bo Diddley, Ed Sullivan was on the TV screen to be seen with the Beatles and the Jackson 5. You know, who's the dog, the from a historical timeline. That's my experience. You can't claim that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Only I do that because I'm a history major. So I think things in chronological order. So to tell me that you own my brand, that's just how you going to own my 35, 45 years of living on planet Earth.
And your perspective.
Right, my perspective. You can't. So you have to be able to recontract. And sometimes you give up a little bit to get. You know, maybe you give up a song. You know, maybe you give up an album. I tell young artists, well, I'm not going to believe this music because I want everybody to hear it. They might feel it. I'm like, well, people see it. They do. And so, if you got an album, put it out. And then, you know, somebody gets the first album, or you give up half the rights, make another album. Build your brand. And after you build your brand, don't keep you so tight, so close to you, that you don't let nobody hear it because you're scared. Don't do that. Let it out. Let it breathe, and let the universe do what it's going to do. So maybe you might lose a two or that first comic book. But if you're a real artist, you got one more. Nobody's going to let you $1 million industry for free.
They might take one idea, but they're not going to take your talent and your logic.
And if you only got one song, fine, that's justified, that's granted. But you got to have more than one song in your repertoire. You know, you got more than one experience. You have more than one family member.
Right.
So, you know, you can't look at it that way. You understand what I'm saying? You can't be so tight-lipped and so unsafe that you can't explore your brain. You if they steal from you, you know, and like I said, nobody's gonna let you into $1 billion industry. Nobody's gonna let you into $1 billion industry and not have you.
You have to put the work in.
They're gonna charge you. I'm gonna let you in. I have a union, the musical union, you know, the plumbers union, the electricians union, the fashion union. You gotta pay dues.
Exactly.
But if you're really good at what you do, you'll get them dues back tenfold. Some of us treat our music like our children. And to a degree, it is, but it's not your child. It's not. You're going to, it's a song. It's not your child.
It's meant to grow legs and live in other people and their spirits,
right.
and be transferred back and forth and grow.
Right. So you can't act like, well, this is all, and I get it. You feel personal, and I tell a lot of young artists that, no, man, I'm not going to put this out, or I'm not going to sign that deal, or, I don't want nobody to steal, or this person stole my... I have some friends talk about a record that somebody stole from them 20 years ago. And I'm like, you still talking about that record? Why don't you go make another one?
Right, make a better one.
If you stole Stevie Wonder's first album, who would care? He got 50 more.
Right.
It's going to happen. You're going to get into a protracted litigation. You're not going to be rich and famous and not have to go to court. It's just not going to happen. Not in America, right? You're going to have to get married and get divorced. You're going to have trouble. That justifies and determines who you really are, and it's your measurement of your strength. You're going, I never thought I could be tested until I had to go to court with my daughter. When I had to go to, I was 35. I never thought, I was good friends with my son's mother. It was all good. But when I went to court with my daughter, I had no real problems up until that point in my life. I was always able to figure out a way in and to figure out a way out. And I went to court and I was like, oh shit, I really thought I was going to get through this whole life and do whatever I want and not pay nothing. And that's when it dawned on me. It was like, for all that you hung it out, for all that you did, it's what you got to take. You got to give it back. No human being is going to walk this planet without a cross to bear. Nobody. And that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
You got to take something.
So now, Freedom, talking about walking in many lanes. So your talent is not limited just to music and producing. So you also directed and produced and wrote a short film. So talk to us a bit about that and what inspired you to move into the lane of film.
Well, I've always been inspired. I used to be in theater in college, and I was a history major, but I was attracted to the theater department. Because even though I was studying history, I was more of a creator than I actually thought I was. And plus, all the girls were in the theater department too. So
it's like a good place to meet girls.
I was like, listen, I'm going over there to exit stage left, okay? So and then I started to work on the sets, and that's what got me in it. Then I was in plays in the second grade and the third grade in school. I was always picked to be in a play, and so. That's what I started to do. So writing film, I'm a creative, so I can kind of visualize. I have a couple of friends of mine, and I find that females go through this more than men. And this is why I noticed there's a difference between females and men. Because a lot of my female singers who are really talented or creative, they don't see vision.
Really?
Now, women are portal, and women are visionary by nature. A woman is a portal. A woman carries the bag. A woman carries the baby. A woman carries the key. A woman carries the family legacy. She carries the genes. But a lot of females will say, that's why a lot of women don't get into the technology of musical production. Because musical production allows you to kind of see far. And I find a lot of women, I say, do you see where you're going in the future? Do you see, men are conquerors, right? By nature. They conquer buildings, they conquer land, they build. Men have grown in the way they're socialized by playing with trucks. When you play with a toy truck, that means you're building something. It's giving you the ability to build something. When you play with the toys that little boys play with, and I find that when I ask really talented women, do you know where you want to be in 5 years with your music? A lot of them will say, I don't see my future like that. And I find that, and I don't know why that is. A dude who talks trash.
Well, you're definitely not talking to a woman right now that's like that.
not you. It's true. And I always wonder why. What is it in society that we're doing to our females, and it's putting them in a box?
Yes, but I think it's also and I'm really excited to kind of bounce back and forth this topic with you. Yeah, is that I really feel too, part of it is we can't just blame the men in the scenario. You know, we can't say, oh, well, hip hop over sexualizes women and degrades women and this and that. And, you know, the industry is putting us in a box. But you have to look at yourself. Are you allowing yourself to be put in that box? Are you taking that gig that's degrading you? Are you taking that gig that's not sending an empowering message? Or are you having enough belief and confidence in yourself to wait and that the right things will come along? And wait to work with the right people. Wait to take part in the right projects and to believe in yourself enough to say, no, you're not going to present me in any way but what's, you know, respectful and me owning my power. Just touching into the, you know, Me Too movement here, which is, you know, really important in everything that's going on, and sending, you know, a rally call to men, look, you got to act right and respect women. And as you said, hip hop is really like a masculine oriented genre. But at the same point, there's certain things that are beyond our control. But we all have control on whether or not we stand up for ourselves. And, you know, we might not be able to control what happens to us or what's said to us. But we as women have to take the responsibility, and this is something that I talk about all the time. Like, talk to me correctly. You know, treat me with respect. I'm about business. Don't holler at me with all this your sex and all this stuff. You know, if you're coming at me about business, if I don't know you, you know, come correct, have etiquette, like you. I mean, one of the things I was just really just pleasantly taken aback is you were one of the most well-mannered and respectful and kind people that I've met in the entertainment industry.
That's sweet.
And I feel like more men really need to take a note from you. And
well, it goes back to my point of how we raise men.
Yeah, and how we raise, yes.
How we raise children. What do we show them? Why do we limit some, stagnate others? And why do we let my father, I went out with and I'm going to cut back on why you asked that question about theater and by what makes me write that short story. What made me write that short story was I've always had vision. I can see it. I can see it way before it happens. You have to be able to see your life play out before it happens. Right. And the reason why I brought up the women, not all women are like this, don't get me wrong, but I find that a lot of them now, there's this, well, I'll just, you know, I'm going to make it, I'm going to walk through it and see what happens, or, you know, blah, blah, blah.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. You got to see that thing ahead of you. You got to see down the road. You got to be 12 years old and go, I'm going to be a fireman. I'm going to be president. I'm going to be a musician. You got to see that. Mm-hmm. And I can see the play. I can see the whole thing. I think it had a lot to do with my diet, too. I think your diet allows your pancreas and your glands to be free. If you eat clogged up, you eat food. Remember, your body is connected to your spirit. Mm-hmm. You know, your body is the physical house of your spirit. And if your spirit is your vision and your house is dirty, you know, you can't find nothing in dust and clutter, right?
Right. Well, I find some of my best visions and artistic ideas when I'm sipping on some Moscato and eating some fine chocolate. Right. But I definitely get what you're saying. You know, you have to put healthy things into your psyche.
You do, because I think it helps. I think that being able to have a clear vehicle by which to create. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that that sometimes that vision doesn't come from the pain. Right. Sometimes you can be in a worse condition. You know, J.K. Rowling was, you know, living in the shelter when she started to write Harry Potter. Mm-hmm. Right. So sometimes you get inspired from that too. But I just wanted to touch on that because when you asked me about where did I get the video for the short story, I had an artist who, his name was Hans, from Palestine. And, you know, his mother and his they were like, I don't want you doing that rock music. That rock music is no good. You know, they're Muslim. Mm-hmm. And I said it reminded me of the jazz singer. Right. You know, how the jazz singer he was Jewish and he wasn't supposed to be in the secular world. And so that was the inspiration from that. So, you know, inspiration is everywhere, all around you. flower pots, car tires. You know, like I said, I'm making a bed out of floor joists. That is just a carpenter friend of mine said, he said, yo, that is beautiful. He said, that is one of a kind. You know, how do you see it? You have to be able to get the garbage out of your way and see clear.
So true. Like that's just touching on what you're saying right now. One of the lessons that I had to learn this year is just there's a time when when you're really driven and focused about what you want to accomplish and being your best self and walking on the path to that. Sometimes you have to get the broom out and really step back and look at who's in your circle, who's in your like satellite circle. Are they really for you? Are they really healthy? Are they are they really pushing you towards your dreams, or are they actually keeping you like off track? Or, because the wrong energy can block your creative path, you know, your channel, and you, without realizing it, you can block your blessings.
Yeah, I had to cut off one of my really good friends I had for like 30 years. I just cut him off. Like, I got tired of him borrowing my tool, not telling me. And then I'm looking dead at my tool, and you telling me it's not my tool. And then I'm looking, I'm ordering a boiler, I'm ordering parts for a job, and he's ordering the wrong part, and he's acting like he's not doing it, and he's like, I'm done. You gotta get to the point in life where there's some people you can take with you and accept it, like maybe your mom and then some people you just gotta get rid of.
Right.
I have some young friends in the hood, and they have this thing where they always say, I'm from the hood, free, and my man's and them, we grew up together, I'm never gonna abandon them. I'm like, all right, so y'all gonna die together in the same coffin?
Right.
Like, I hear that all the time. Nah, I'm loyal to a four. I had two young cats tell me that. Yo, I'm loyal to a four. I'm like, man, you 37, man. You better be loyal to your age.
Right, and to yourself.
And to yourself, and to your kids. But we get into this whole thing about loyalty. No matter how many times I burn you out because you're my brother or my mother's son, I'm supposed to accept that. No, I'm not going to accept that. And I'm going to do better, and I'm going to do better by myself.
Right.
And it's just what it is.
So now you also have your own construction business and have been doing house flipping for a while now. So, talk to us about how you got, I know you've always been someone who's been into building and technical and crafty things. So, tell us about what you love about building and construction and, how you got into that as a business. Sure. Hey, Tiffany.
Yeah. Well, I love construction. Construction is, it's everything. I have a saying: if mother's a necessity, what is it? The necessity of invention.
Yes. The mothers are the necessity of invention.
Right. I say the father's, construction business is the father's civilization. You got to be able to. I tell all the young cats that I mentor, and I work with a lot of young cats in the neighborhood because I give them construction jobs, and I still live in the community, so I have access to them. And I always tell them, man, learn how to use tools, learn how to use a saw, a hammer, a drill, because if you can make a home for yourself in New York, you can make a home for yourself in Japan. If you can build a home for yourself in the city, you can build your home for yourself in the jungle. It's just the same thing. Trees, natural oils, ceramics is just natural earth that's crushed together, baked in the oven. Bricks is made out of earth. So once you learn how to build for yourself, what's the shelter is one of the necessities of it makes us civilized. Shelter is what defines us as civilized people. So you don't want to make millions of dollars and then pay someone else to build your home if you can avoid it. It's okay, nothing wrong with it, but if you can do it yourself and work with your hands, it's like the tools of God.
And just like any other art form, there's real satisfaction in creating something from the ground up.
That's right. It's an art form. And, it's rhythm, it's poetry, it's flow, it's energy. You know, the building. People don't know that street lights in New York City are always a certain height above the ground.
Mm-hmm.
The street heights are like 60 feet. They don't make them one 60 feet and the other one's 80 feet. The poles are all the same height. So if you understand that the poles are all the same height, and if you know exactly what that height is, you can see the height of any building based on the street light.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the street light, you know that's a certain street. And then double that street light, that's the height of the building. I mean, there are certain tools that you need to survive just as society. And construction is such a wonderful, wonderful platform. You have painting, you have palettes, you have textures, you have textiles, you have ceramics. It's just an absolutely wonderful platform.
And architecture is its own beautiful fashion and style. I mean, I love just wherever I'm at, just sometimes just walking and just looking at the buildings and the architecture and contours of the buildings.
Right.
So now, Freedom, you also have some other exciting ventures on tap. So you are moving into the world of technology with a new venture, Chai Bay. So tell us all about that and, you know, your ventures into the world of tech.
Yeah, well, Chai Bay is my baby right now. You know, I love it. Chai Bay is everything, is what we say. I'm running the marketing division of it. I'm a partner with two other cats from Wall Street, really big tech guys in the opening, on the front end and on the back end. And it's basically the first retail cryptocurrency superstore. It's like eBay for cryptocurrency. You can buy shoes, socks, hats, houses, cars, boats. You can get a massage service.
Now, for us non-techno people, can you explain what cryptocurrency is?
Cryptocurrency is basically currency. You have the EU, you have the US dollar, you have the Japanese yen, you have the yuan in China. Well, cryptocurrency is the same way. You have a Bitcoin, a Litecoin, you have Zcash. It's the same thing. Different currencies. What makes cryptocurrency so much better is you can't resell it twice. Meaning, if I give you $1, you can inflate that dollar and then loan to against it. Banks loan you money against money that they don't have. That's how they give you loans. When Obama gave the banks bailouts, they had something like $70 trillion. Where did they get that money from? Was it in the reserve? They just printed what they call fiat cash, and that's what raises inflation. With cryptocurrency, if I give you a crypto dollar, you can't sell it twice. You can sell it to somebody else, but I can't give you inflation against that dollar. I can't resell that same exact dollar.
So is it kind of like Bitcoin?
Like what?
This is a thing I hear about Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Coin, yeah, that's it. Bitcoin, yes. Yes, you see how technical I am.
Bitcoin is your number one cryptocurrency. You have Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. Just like you have the dollar or the yen or the EU, you have different Bitcoin.
Okay.
Different cryptocurrencies, I'm saying. It's not a Bitcoin is one type. Bitcoin is like a US dollar. Litecoin is like the euro. And so Akon just got 2,000 acres that the president of Senegal gave him for his own country. And he's going to use Acoin as his own dollar.
Wow.
What defines a country is its currency. The banks are able to manipulate the dollar, and they're able to do all types of things with the money, whatever they see fit. Money for wars, right? Cryptocurrency is the same thing. What allows me to give you $1? You trust that that dollar has value. When you say freedom, give me $5, and I hand you a $5 bill, you have trust that you can take that $5 bill, or let's say a $10 bill with Hamilton on it. You have trust that you can take that $10 bill with Hamilton on it and go buy something for $10.
And go to a place that recognizes that currency.
That's all it is. It's trust. Cryptocurrency is the same thing, and it's even a greater sense of trust because you can't cheat the system. You can't sell it twice. Once I give you $1, if I take that same $10 to Dominican Republic, it might be worth $12. If I take that same $10 to Japan, it might give me an $8 value. Cryptocurrency is exactly what it is wherever you go.
Now, where can people find cryptocurrency?
You can buy cryptocurrency. You have to get your wallet, which is a crypto wallet, and you get it from Coinbase. You go to Coinbase, you can get a wallet that holds Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Monero. Those are really different. There's 2,000 cryptocurrencies, but they're not all stable. Why? because like any currency, it's based on the bank, which means the people that have it. There's no banking system in cryptocurrency. It's just me and you. If I buy a card from you, there are multi-millionaires and multi-billionaires in the crypto world. They have made so much money because the blockchain system that Satoshi Nakamoto invented in the early 2000s, now the Department of Homeland Security is using it. Western Union is about to go on the blockchain. You can remember, you need the blockchain to sell crypto. The blockchain is the cloud almost that crypto runs on that cannot be broken, cannot be hacked. So now Richard Branson is giving flights on Virgin Atlantic with crypto. You can go to Subway with crypto. There's many stores. You can go to different tech stores that use crypto because companies in Venezuela's on the crypto because the company fell, the country fell down, the Venezuelan dollar collapsed, so the whole country's using cryptocurrency. 80% of South Korea is on cryptocurrency because it's extremely stable and it is what it is. It's solid. And that's what it is. We don't sell crypto on my website. So we're not crypto trading. What we have done is we're providing you with the platform to use your money. I have friends in Africa who have cryptocurrency and like, but we don't know what to spend it. So we invented a store where you can buy computers, shoes, stocks with your cryptocurrency. So just get you a wallet, and you can go to my website, chive.net, XAIVE, where we can guide you through it. You get you a wallet, and when you get a wallet,
can you customize it? Can you make it all blingy and fashionable?
Can I what?
I said, can you customize your virtual wallet and make it all blingy?
You know, we're working on that. I thought about that.
Yeah, see, if it's me, it's got to sparkle.
But you know, you gotta add to it. It's gotta have your personality to it.
Yes,
it definitely does. It definitely does. It's a wonderful time because we're gonna probably in a few years, by the next 5 or 10 years. I mean, we're already using eCash. When somebody wires money to your account and you use your credit card to go spend it, you don't realize that you actually never touch cash.
It's like when you pay via PayPal,
right?
Same or Cash App, same kind of thing.
In a cashless society.
Well, we will definitely be following you along with this journey. So now, as we move towards the end of the show here, now that you have again won the rights, woo, we can't say this enough times. 20 years. That's more than one round of applause. So, what are you looking ahead for the legacy of CNC Music Factory and where you're taking it? What's in the future for Freedom and the brand and the things that you have on tap?
Well, I'm continuing to make records. I got that Sweat 25th. I got a record with my man Suave coming out because I'm an artist. I don't make records necessarily for the money, although it's a wonderful thing. I just love to make music. So, I'm doing that still. I'm going to continue to do that, use the brand, CNC Music Factory, build the brand stronger, make the brand more stable. Because the brand has been really misused in the past 20 years. There's been too many groups. The agents don't know what is what. So I'm going to stabilize this brand now.
Yes.
I'm going to bring this brand. I'm going to contact all the agents and really stabilize this brand and bring it home.
Awesome.
And give it some real structure. Because the brand is more valuable. It's hard to extract the value from it when people are just saying they're CNC Factory and they're not.
Exactly. Well, on that front, we're going to talk about some things and create some magic.
Right.
So now, as we move out here, and well, first of all, you know how much we love you here at Take It to the Streets because we only for you, Freedom, are going a half hour over our time. But yes, but you have so much that our listeners really need to hear and benefit from. So where can we all find you on social media?
Instagram, Freedom Williams, and then my official is official.freedom.williams. I have my, my Facebook is Freedom Williams. My website is freedomwilliams.com. Instagram, Facebook, social. I don't do Snapchat. I tried for a while, but
I did that for like 5 minutes.
I get too much. I can't have 25 social media platforms.
Right.
So I got rid of that. So Instagram, Facebook, Twitter is Free Willie 707. Somebody has my name, Freedom Williams. They never post, but they won't give me my name.
Oh,
So
jeez.
I don't even know what that's. When I first got on 2010, I was like, I'm Freedom Williams. And they were like, that's you. So I was like, what? You? What? And I went, as one guy that never posted, I sent him a letter. I said, you have been authorized by the Freedom Williams Society of the United States of America. We disauthorize you. He never responded. He probably laughed.
Cease and desist.
All right, you win. You got it.
Right, and of course you can follow me on social media on Instagram at SRPKLDiva and follow the Style and Empowerment Chat with Laura and Friends Facebook. We are on Take It to the Streets Radio every Wednesday, I'm sorry, that was my old segment. Rewind. We are on Take It to the Streets Radio every Wednesday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern, and on London Energy Radio UK every Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. So next week we will be bringing you hair trends by Hair by King, and we will also be bringing you winner of Philly Hip Hop 2018 Best R&B Girl Group, Vivid, and they'll be breaking some new music. So we always close our show out with a thought of the day, Freedom. So I would like to pass it off to you. Take us out with your inspirational and motivational thought of the day.
Well, I always say, you have to be yourself. You have to be true to yourself. And even when you come to the realization that loved ones don't have the capacity to understand it. Sometimes you realize you're with somebody for your whole life, or your mother, or your sister, or your father, and they don't have the capacity to know who you really are. And nor do they want to make that choice. Learning someone is a conscious choice. Mm-hmm. The best parents are parents that have understanding and can have compassion. And so sometimes you find that even your own family doesn't have any compassion toward you. They say they love you, but they don't demonstrate that. Mm-hmm. They argue with you about every little thing that you're doing, right or wrong. They never seem satisfied with what you do. They're contemptuous. They're jealous of you. They haven't even defined what love is. They don't even know it. Mm. And sometimes we forget that love is a very basic form of acceptance. Love is the highest elevation of understanding. It means that the highest form of understanding is love. It's a very basic form of realization of your condition. And people are not loving. They're not realizing that this is who you are, this is what you have, this is the hand that you've been dealt. Mm-hmm. And so they cause all these conflicts. And so sometimes, my thought of the day is, sometimes you got to leave people where you find them. Whether it's at the altar, whether it's in the club, whether it's in the nursery, in the hospital. Sometimes, you might be, your mother might be born, but you're like, my father wasn't in my life, and I would tell people that was a blessing. Because I don't think he would have ever understood me. And a few times that I was with him when I was young, I don't think he really did. So sometimes they say, oh, I didn't have a mom in my life, or I didn't have a dad. And sometimes I say, that might have been God saving.
Amen. Well, Freedom, I thank you for your wisdom. I thank you for your friendship. I thank you for all the amazing music and everything that you personally have brought to my life even before we knew each other, and the joy that you've given to generations. And we will definitely be supporting you in any endeavor that you are doing. So follow Freedom Williams. Go to your YouTube, go everywhere, get familiar with all his amazing music if you aren't already. So we'll be back with more Style and Empowerment Chat with Laura and Friends next week. And until next time, stay strong and stay beautiful.